Hello everybody, this is Will Bill, also known as Dev Bill or Billy, or whatever else you know me by, on the ROBLOX Spirit Halloween YouTube channel. And today I'm basically doing the video I kind of wanted to do before, which is a development video showing the progress of everything and when we made it and how we made it, going towards props, themes, and everything else behind the scenes and all that. And I really wanted to show you guys this because I wanted to be more interactive and showing you guys that it's possible for everybody in the community to be able to do something cool like this. Maybe even show some pointers to people who want to do stuff like this. And with that, this video will be just specifically on the theme development and how we did our themes, how we started with the theme, how we planned it, how we did prop layout, how we did texturing, how we did building, and everything to do with the themes. I was going to do this all in one part, but I figured that if I'm going to talk about all this stuff in depth, it's probably going to be a really long video. So we're going to have two videos of this, one with the themes, one with the props. This one's going to be about the themes. So to actually start off, this game has been planned since, if you remember last year we did a theme ideas game, or a Spirit Halloween 2021 ideas game, and that consisted of the Reaper Street and the Spirit Sewer System theme, as well as, like, you know, various props like Mr. Hallowmare, Mr. Mutilate, all them. You know, you'll probably remember them if you are a fan of our games. So actually we'll be getting one person on this video with me, which is Mr. Halloween, also known as Telezoft. He is another one of the builders for our game. If you don't know, actually, I want to point this out now just to give everybody's credit out of the way. The main people behind this game that you see, it's actually a lot more than you'll probably think. We have me, we have Ashton or Mr. Halloween or Telezoft. We have JT Hans Jack, also known as Jack Attack Likes Games. We have Halloween Haunter, also known as Chad or Grave River God. We have Gino Haunter, also known as Justin. We have Aiden K. We have BTR's Official, or known as Blake, or BTR Central. Just a Boring Daily, also known as Daily or Sincere. And we've also had Mr. Halloween Haunter, also known as Andrew, and Logan Kaler, also known as Dark Fox. I'm pretty sure that's everybody. So, and there's also a bunch of people we had help out with other things like voice acting, box designs, even description help and everything. Like, well, I can go through everything when I get to that point and give credit to needed to who deserves it. But even for you guys, thank you to all the fans for this. All your guys' support just really drives us to keep doing these and doing more of these games, and even help better what we can produce next year and the years after. Because last year, if you didn't know, we started this in 2019. We did like a little clown theme and a hell theme or something like that. The year after, we kind of stepped it up a little bit with voice acting and some other unique prop concepts, and even a little bit more unique themes with the Reaper Schoolhouse in the Jack's Lifeless Laboratory. Again, didn't turn out amazing, but it was a good start to where we were going. And we had a few little people that were tuned in on that, not very many people. And then the year after that, which was last year, which was the Reaper Street and the Spirit Sewer System. And halfway through that season, it just kicked off and got so much support, so we really knew we had to step it up this year for the 2022 game. That being obviously the Backlot and the Horrorplex Cinema. Like I said, thank you guys for the support. That we really can't express how much it means to us. So, without further ado, I will jump right into the video of how we developed the Backlot and the Horrorplex Theater theme. What did we start with for like the actual theme? Like, what was the original theme idea supposed to be? Like a western ghost town?
Yeah, it started off wanting to do I don't think you were too keen on the idea, but I wanted to do like a ghost town reminiscent of Phantom Manor from Disney Paris or whatever, and that was the original idea.
Yeah, so that was like what? I want to say like right after theme ideas last year, we were like thinking about the themes.
That was like February, March.
Yeah, so it was really early on, and then we kind of stuck with that for a while too. We were like, oh, this will probably be cool, and then we kind of thought we could just like make props that fit into it, but kind of also not. And then we kind of just realized after that, like, if we did clowns and stuff, it wouldn't fit that well. So, and then like from there we kind of went.
We wanted a diner also.
Yeah, a diner was one of our other options, like a diner, and then like, I don't know. I remember thinking
it was going to be a diner and a theater, and that's when the theater first came into place. It was like a 50s sort of thing, like, or 60s, whatever.
Yeah.
It was going to be like, you know, a diner, like an old abandoned diner, and like a creepy old theater, basically.
Yeah. And I remember you said you had the idea of doing like an updated lab as well. From like
I did use some sort of lab.
yeah. From like our
Um,
old one, our 2021 we did the lab. You wanted to do like an updated version of a lab.
yeah, because lab themes are cool, and the one that we did was not that good.
Yeah. And then when did we decide on the theater? Was it like I don't know. I feel like it was like
Yeah, 8.
October, maybe.
Uh,
I don't know. I really don't know. We kind of just focused on the props for a while, and then we were like, wait, we don't really want to do like the ghost town anymore.
yeah, so then we started thinking
Yeah.
more so about the theme, and then it was like, okay, well, theater was good, diner, and because it was like, it became a thing where it was like, for me, it was like, well, Halloween City already did that for one.
Yeah.
Two, it's hard to just fit props in like some themes you can kind of, you know, I guess squeeze props in there,
Yeah.
regardless of how well they fit. But like with a diner, it's really hard to put a prop like, I don't know, marigold or something in there. That'd be too hard.
Yeah, and then I remember, cause I don't know if this was real. I don't know if this was real or not, but I just have this memory of me and you playing like a Roblox Spirit game, and then we were like, I think it was like a 2008 store, and you just said like, what if we did like a theater theme, and I remember like wanting to do it.
I don't
know if that was real or not. I remember like us playing like a 2008 Roblox game. I think it was like I don't know. I just have a memory of me like
I don't
jumping.
even know. I don't remember there even being a 2008.
Oh no, it was 2011, I think. I just remember that.
That's it, I guess.
So that was the deciding moment for the themes. And then, how did the films that came in like later on? We kind of just
that was something that was very like, kind of. I had an idea for that one, but I didn't know how to, like, I guess, play it out. Like,
yeah.
I knew that, like, I wanted, like, because it was hard, because Spirit usually has connecting themes. So, like, in recent years, they had Spirit Acres Farm, the farmhouse, the boat, the wharf, the island, the cave, factory, the factory floor, that stuff. So, we wanted to have them connect, so it was hard coming up with a theme that would really connect with the theater. That's why at first we wanted to do a diner, because it kind of had this, like, you know, we could go for like a certain like kind of, I guess, vintage sort of vibe for that. Right. And then the diner, eventually we kind of pushed that out of the picture. So then it was kind of like, well, what are we gonna do? And I had this idea for like a backlot, like a studio backlot or something. That was something I kept mentioning whenever we were thinking about it, but I would always kind of be like, well, I don't know how we'd actually do
it. That was like the main issue.
And then we thought about film sets. I don't remember whose idea that was. I think it might have been your idea.
Yeah.
We could do some film sets and stuff, and that way we could incorporate different props. Wait. So that was kind of, I think, how that came into play, I guess.
Yeah, I think we started. We had ideas, like you drew a bunch of concepts for the back theme. It went through like different, like at least 4 or 5 variations. So sometime in December Ashton drew like a first concept for the back theme. It was like this big kind of theater with like a building on top, and then like Jack the Reaper was like peeking out of it. But what was the reason why we scrapped that? Was it just like
what part of it?
The top part, like the top.
Oh, with like Jack the Reaper and stuff. I think it was just because it didn't fit under the roof partially, and also Jack just didn't want to do it for some reason.
Yeah, and I remember from the side view as well, it looked like weird and flat.
Yeah, it kind of did.
But yeah, the back theme went through like different versions. There was that version. We had a bunch of like testing versions where like we had this overly large like haunted house for a back theme that Jack made, and it was like full of swinging clown. and it was like a very very weird looking. It was like an actual movie theater, so we had to scrap that because it was like way too big. Um, and then there was another version. It was like a smaller scale version. It didn't really look cool, so we scrapped that. And then there was just little bits and pieces that we made over time and just didn't end up releasing. So for the back theme, we wanted to make sure we didn't do any like. We really want to make sure we did like all licensed back there for the theater. Obviously Grimm is back there, but he kind of fits because he's like the usher in the theater. But we just wanted like a real kind of realistic, even though it's not really real, well, like realistic in a sense that movie characters would be there, but we wanted the theme to be really dedicated to like the horror fans with all the licensed stuff back there, and we made like the side two walls with Art the Clown, Jason, Jack the Clown, and the other wall with Shorty, Spikey, and Freddy. We made them look like a little like the sides of a theater where there'd be movie posters, and then their little price tags are like the names of the movie. We obviously have the front area where the tickets are, and there's two Michael and Ghostface are there. So they're kind of like greeting you as you go into the theater. And then we also want to make sure we included a walkthrough, even though Spirit hasn't done them in 2 years. We want to still give that aspect to the back theme with having a walkthrough. We even added the TV in there and everything. Another thing we struggled with was trying to make it not too tall. Like, I think the theme touches the roof. I think, or doesn't it go through the roof?
In some areas, yeah, I think it does ever so slightly go through the roof. We really tried to, we wanted it to be a big theme, but we kind of lost sight of how big it was, I think. Mainly because we don't build it in the store, we build it on a separate base plate, so we don't really have an idea of where the roof is at. We just kind of make it however big we feel like it should be, and then when this is kind of a problem, but when we put it into the store, half the time it's way too big, so then we have to downsize a little bit, which is something multiple times. Even the version that we have now, that slightly goes through the roof a little bit, that one I had to downsize, I think 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So it was even bigger than that, but I'm still pretty happy with the scale of it right now. It was gonna be like really tall, but comes a time where it gets a little bit, I guess, obnoxious with the height.
Yeah.
It was a good height.
There was also the original design. Well, not the original design. One of the designs we were like sticking with for a while. It was like the regular looking theater, but the props were on platforms that were kind of like parking lot outside areas, and like the left side had Jason, Freddy, and Michael, and then the right side had Art, the Clown, Spikey. Oh no. Wait, hold on.
Spikey was pretty last minute. Okay, no.
Basically, the right side had Shorty, Art, and Jack the Clown, and Spikey never even was gonna be a thing. And then out of nowhere, Ashton was just like, "What if we did another killer clown?" So that's what happened with him, and we just made Spikey. So I think it was a good choice. I think they'll do a Spikey. We'll have to see though. 2 props never made it to that theme. One of them being Stay Puft. He was supposed to be on the roof on the right side, but we ended up not releasing him because he was gonna be way too big for an in-store prop.
I said he's gonna be 12 feet.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't fit the roof either. He looked really out of place.
Yeah, so we might do an online one or we might do an online one sometime or something, but as of right now there's no plans, but he's not gone forever, so. And then Beetlejuice, we returned him, but then we never put him in the theme. One being, he had a spot originally, but he looked weird there, he just looked out of place, and we didn't want to put him in with the horror characters, so we just ended up not using him. I don't think, some people noticed, some people didn't, and it's not a huge deal, it's just a returning prop.
There was one canceled prop too.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, the Creepshow. Yeah. Well, so we were gonna do a Creepshow Creep, but we canceled him because he just felt like too much. I guess we felt like we were doing a little bit too many characters, and also couldn't figure out a good placement for him because at that time we were really struggling with prop placement. So he was one that did making it, but it's fine. I don't really care that much. We did we did the Crypt Keeper anyway, which I mean they're both, in my opinion, like equally as good. So.
Mm-hmm. So that's about it on the back theme. Obviously, the name was inspired by the Horrorplex. Ours is the Horrorplex Cinema or theater, right? What is? Yeah, ours is the theater, and then Spirits is the Horrorplex Cinema. So we inspired that off of it. So it was just like a really heavily inspired theme off the Spirit theme. We really wanted to give something for the horror fans, and I think it ended up turning out really well. So many people were asking about how we make it. We build everything in Roblox Studio and then 3D model everything in Blender. And then there isn't a lot we can talk about how we make it. We kind of just use Roblox Studio and everything that's provided in it, and then we kind of reference off of actual Spirit themes, making layouts and stuff to start, and then kind of building the structure on top of it. Obviously, we go through a lot of different changes and everything, and then we texture it. We use a lot of online sources for texturing, even making some textures, drawing some stuff out, making graphics and all that, putting it together as realistic as we can. So then we build up the structures that look just like Spirit themes, but also making it unique in a way. As you can probably tell, our style is a little different from Spirit. We kind of go full out. That's also our main thing. We really want it to be not what Spirit would do, something we want them to do, something that we want them to step up to this level and do, if that makes sense. Obviously, we don't realistically see this stuff happening. It could happen at a smaller scale, but this is what the fans really want them to aim for, if that makes sense. So tying that up, that's basically it about the Horrorplex Theater, and now we can move on to the Backlot. The Backlot, it's the theme that we had the most trouble with figuring out how to put it together and what it was going to be. So it started off as I think the whole thing, we envisioned it as like the whole thing being like a film set, even though it is, but like we envisioned like the whole thing being its own film set, and then we ended up breaking that off into 3 sections, one of them being the left side with the clown stuff, the back side with the farm stuff, and the right side with the demon-esque stuff. So this theme went through a lot of designs. What was our first one was like, wasn't the first one we did like, didn't it have like Mr. Howell and Stumpers at the front, and then like the Scarecrow, what's his name, Cornfield Creep was at the front.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the very first screenshot taken of the front theme, which was taken on December 28th, 2021. As you can see, we start off our themes with little gray outlines, almost like Spirit did. They have their themes made, but with no texture, just a white cardboard. So we kind of made them the structure without any texturing on it. And the front theme just consisted of Stumpers. Stumpers ended up being in the same spot, and then Autumn got switched a little bit, and then Cornfield Creep got thrown to the back. But you can see how we have our concepts all there. The right side kind of consisted of the same stuff. Obviously, we added a few little props in. The back part was obviously a lot different. It was a lot more skinnier, a lot less to look at on this version. But we kind of just had the idea to make it like this backlot theme that consisted of like a lot of like broken down buildings and stuff. It was originally supposed to be just a bunch of broken down set pieces, as if the props invaded this abandoned set. But then we kind of took that idea and made it look like it was this abandoned set that the props went to and refurbished to look like the movie they're working on. Hence why we made the walls have the trusses with the backdrops on top. And the front archway is actually supposed to be like the little skeleton crew filming them, as we have the film reels and all the director's chairs with the skeletons kind of filming all the props on the side. So like you can kind of say that Stumperus and Anubis are like the head of the film team or something, because they're at the archway. So there's little details like that we like to add in to kind of make it all have this little story to it. As if you look at it, you don't kind of see it right away, but when you think about it, it's like, okay, this makes sense. And that's how it goes with the theater, because the props in the front theme are filming this movie that's being displayed in the back theme. That's how they kind of go together. So obviously this theme has only one licensed prop, and then the rest is just all of our custom props. We really wanted to make sure it wasn't just a jumbled mess of props, which every Spirit theme kind of is, because they kind of just put props wherever almost. But we really wanted to make sure they themed the colors, even the prop characters and everything fit together. So that's why the right side is the little dungeon. We have Witch of Stolen Souls, Vampire Overlord, Mr. Dark, Belladonna, Vivian Snatcher, and so we kind of have everything with the same colors, the same character, kind of all together with this little dungeon look. So we have the front wall with the 3 props on it. with the little like risers that are supposed to look like rolled stone in the dungeon walls. And to the right there's a little dungeon cage, which we kind of replicated off of last year with the take a photo with our headless friend. We have the dungeon cage that says take a photo within the dungeon. And then to the right we have that little shack, the little witch shack with the witch props in it and some other little details in there. The back part, this back part originally was supposed to just be a little singular shed with 2 props in it, that being Barnyard Butcher. Wait, no, this is way before it was Barnyard Butcher and Infectious Bite. And then we kind of turned it into this little butcher shop that was supposed to have Barnyard Butcher, Infectious Bite, Anubis, and Baphomet when we were originally going to return Baphomet, but he ended up not making it. So we had this back wall. It was kind of, it's like how it released, but it's a little different. The front part's inverted, so it's supposed to be like this butcher shop with all these props in it. Obviously that got switched and props got moved around. So it ended up being this little farm. This farm was kind of decided a few weeks prior to opening. So we kind of just made it look like this little outdoor farm area with both sides with Nightcrawler and Cornfield Creep having the corn stalks and some little creepy details in there. And then the middle part being like a little old shed barn with obviously Infectious Bite and Barnyard Butcher featured in there. Not too much there, it's a simple little farm area. It's supposed to be like this little farm set. And then leading into the right side, which is the clown side, this went through a few changes as well. Originally, from the very original get-go, it was just supposed to be Marigold, Henry, and Bon Appetit there. Bon Appetit originally was supposed to be just a 6-foot clown, so he was on the right side where Henry was, and Henry was in the middle next to Marigold. That ended up switching out when the designer, aka Jack, he told us that he was 10 feet tall, so we made him bigger, we made him central. And then we changed the risers a little bit and added a background, and then the left side was just supposed to have, it was just supposed to be Nighty Night, and that was it. But we ended up wanting to make the theme symmetrical, so we take that little witch shack and put it on the left side, and put Nighty Night and Swingy in it. Swingy originally was supposed to be adjacent to Pumpkin Nester, but we ended up putting Autumn there, so Swingy is back into this clown spot, which he looks better in. So then we ended up making that little shack look like a little big top circus room as like a little backstage area with some props and stuff. And then I think it was what was it, 3 days before opening, we just like put Failed Act up there. He wasn't supposed to be up there. We had no room for him. He was originally just going to be in box. So at first we wanted to put him in the back theme, but he looked weird. So we took him out, put him in box, and then a few days before opening we were like, we really want to display him, so we put him up top into the little area where you walk out and you kind of just step on the step pad as you come out. And then obviously we kind of made that back area look like a little circus wall, and then we put the obviously the trusses around it as if they're filming a movie there for the clown movie or something. And then that whole tower, we kind of made it look like there was it's kind of like the backstage production crew with all the boxes and the skeletons, and Crypt Keeper up top in the front. He's like the director of the movie or something. So that area is supposed to be like a skeleton crew HQ area with a little walkthrough. Hence all the skeletons filming and everything. And then the middle part, the little walkthrough. We wanted to have a walkthrough like last year, so we kind of made it go straight, but then to change it up a little bit, you go left. So you can either look out that little cage to the right or go out to the left. And then right at the end of the hallway obviously is Arachnida the Clown, done by Ashton. We really wanted to have him central in the theme because he's just one of our best props. Funny enough, Spider Strike never existed either. We were kind of making the theme, and we had Arachnid at the end of the hall with all the little wood boards. Oh, as if you didn't know, the wood boards are supposed to be like the the behind the scenes of the set. So these wooden boards are like holding up the set walls as if you're walking behind the set. Hence all the signs too, is warning you about all the behind the scenes stuff. And then we were kind of looking at the hall, we were like, it kind of seems empty in the middle, so because it doesn't have any windows or anything, it was just kind of wall. So we ended up putting the one skeleton on the one side which flashes the camera, and then Spider Strike we came up with on the spot, and then we ended up putting him there. We just really want to make that back area look very spider-like with all the spider webs and abandoned and creepy with all the strobes and everything. Obviously Arachnid at the very end, looking through the theme, turned out really good, and we're glad we put him there. So that's basically how we did the prop placement and how all the props ended up going where they were. Obviously we had a lot of changes with everything. I'm throwing up pictures as you guys are watching this so you can see the development of it all. Obviously a lot of the graphics we did were done by me, Ashton, and JTA Hans. We just kind of Ashton had a few drawings we kind of referenced from, and just thought how do we make this look like a spirit theme? So we kind of took little pictures of spirit themes, compared them to it, and turned it into kind of our own way by editing up different graphics, signs, and everything. Even the step pads and price tags. The price tags look like little film reels with the things on top, and then the step pads are obviously the film reels as well. Again, with the development on this, we use Blender and Roblox, so we kind of just use the stuff provided, compare it to a spirit theme, build it up. And then it went through a lot of changes, and eventually we were finally satisfied with both themes. Obviously, oh, and then as well, the side theme to the right with Other Mother and Nightwing Killer. There's not really a name for this theme. I just realized that now, we never named it. But it's basically just 2 more film sets. But instead of spirit theme or spirit prop film sets, it's actual horror movie film sets. So you have the little areas with the trusses and then the prop movies behind them. One of them being Fear Street Part 2, one of them being Coraline. That's pretty much all they were. We kind of put those together last minute just to be little side themes, and honestly they turned out really well. The reason why we put those 2 props there is originally we were going to be doing a Netflix section with Tommy Slater from Fear Street or the Nightwing Killer, and then on the other side was supposed to be a Stranger Things 4 prop, but Stranger Things 4 got delayed because at the time we thought it was going to be out by now, so we kind of planned to have them there. But that ended up not working, so we just switched it out for an Other Mother prop, which the whole team in general just really wanted to do, so she ended up replacing that. And they honestly fit there. It would be nice to be able to put like Beetlejuice there or something, because he just would fit better on his own, but that was all the room we had, so those were the side themes. And overall, we just really made sure to tie them together, make sure the themes fit together, and make sure the color scheme keeps the same. As you can probably tell, we had a really black and red color scheme with everything. That's pretty much it. Is there anything you want to say to tie it up about how you feel about everything and how?
I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it took a lot longer than I think we predicted it would, but in the end, I think it ended up being something really cool that I think people appreciated a lot. So I feel like all the work ends up being worth it in the end when people just kind of, very much enjoy it. So then it's like, okay, well, at least all this work is appreciated,
Yep. So again, like I said, we try as much as we can every year to keep detailing it. We already have ideas in plans for next year. Even some props have been drawn out and everything for next year. So just keep your eyes open for that next year. As well as our main store will be opening this year too. We'll be making sure that one's even better this year. But yeah, keep an eye out for all of our stuff for theme ideas and the next opening. That's about it for this video. So we want to thank all the fans for being there and showing the support. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the behind the scenes and how we develop this. So that'll be all for now. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.